Alrighty, welcome everyone on YouTube. Hi everyone, and let's go ahead and go live. And let's go ahead and go live on Instagram. Okay. All right, so welcome everyone on Instagram. Yeah, so let's go ahead and make sure that we're just kind of in a comfortable space. I really make it important that we are seated wherever we are. We don't need to be on a yoga mat. You don't need to be anywhere in particular. Just wherever you're seated is perfectly fine. Today, we're going to be doing a breathwork practice related to yesterday's practice. I really like building on what I introduce on Mondays. So let's make that a little bit more specific. Yesterday, we built our practice based on pelvic floor connection and creating these long, deep breaths. Now, today I'm going to get a little bit more into why that's significant, why it matters. So, when we squeeze pelvic floor muscles, right, and there's many, but we're just going to call it the perineum or Kegel, we're going to stick to those. When we squeeze those pelvic floor muscles, we kind of generate or kind of compress this energy in the more primitive centers of our energetic spaces, and we push that energy up. So we've learned yesterday to squeeze the pelvic floor. Let's try it now. So for our fellas, you want to lift the perineum. Notice I'm using the little finger, right? Lift the perineum. And that's the space between the anus and the sex organs. That's the space in between. You just create a lift right there. For the ladies, you're going to squeeze like a Kegel squeeze and pull a little bit up towards the cervix. So it's like squeezing and pulling up. Different for men and women, as it should be. So now that we've reviewed pelvic floor connection, we're now going to go over the deep inhale and the deep exhale that we'll use in combination with that connection. We're going to be inhaling and exhaling only through the nose. When we breathe in, you don't have to take in a big amount of air, just a smooth, steady stream. When you exhale, as well, a smooth, steady exhale. Does not matter how long or how short. So don't worry about having to perform a long exhale. Instead, very naturally, we're going to grow the capacity of our exhale very naturally and of our inhale. So let's start by sitting tall. If you are seated on a mat, I often say, feel free to sit up on a yoga block to free more of your abdomen and midsection. If you're perfectly fine sitting flat on your mat, good for you. If you do want to sit up on a yoga block, well, hell, it can't hurt. And once you're sitting in your comfortable position, you're just going to relax your hands down on your lap. For those of us sitting in a chair, make sure both your feet are planted on the floor. So our knees, our legs aren't crossed. Our ankles are not crossed. Sit very tall and scoot your booty to the front of your chair so that your back is independent of the backrest. Now, let's begin by just sitting in our comfortable seat and breathing 10 breaths. So just inhale and exhale. And just continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. The breath now is just smooth and natural for you. And we use these 10 breaths as a welcome home or a welcome into your practice. You can feel free to close your eyes, or if your eyes are open, you can follow the wave motion of my hand for the inhales and for the exhales. Relaxing the shoulders as you pull the posture up tall, melting the jaw muscles and the shoulders and neck muscles. 2 more breaths. Exhale. 1 more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Now, just stay with your eyes closed and observe your body. Notice if there's anything you need to move or adjust. Or if you're perfectly comfortable, just acknowledge that you're perfectly comfortable. Now, let's move on to including our pelvic connection with our inhales. Now, we're not including the pelvic connection with the exhales. When we inhale, we're going to squeeze the pelvic floor muscles pretty strong. When we exhale, we relax them. I'll repeat. When we inhale, we create a squeeze that's pretty strong. When we exhale, we relax them. For men, the pelvic floor is a lift in the perineum. The space between the anus and the sex organs lifts just slightly. For women, the pelvic floor connection is a squeeze at the Kegel muscles, and you're going to lift that squeeze up towards the cervix. Let's now rest our hands on our lap. Lengthen your spine tall, shoulders free, and let's begin with our inhales here. Inhale and create a squeeze through the pelvic floor, holding the squeeze until you're done with your inhale breath. Exhale, release the pelvic floor, relax the breath. Inhale, create a squeeze in the pelvic floor. Breathe in, really lift the breath quite high up. Exhale, release, relax, let the breathing descend. Let's do that 8 more repetitions. Squeeze pelvic floor. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. A little more if you can. Exhale, release, release, release. Full exhale. Repeat. Inhale, squeeze pelvic floor. Lift, lift, lift. Lift a little stronger if it's possible, a little more. Exhale, release, relax, let go, release. Repeat. Inhale, squeeze pelvic floor, lift, 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 lift. Really push the boundary, up, 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 up. Exhale, release, release, relax, release. Few more. Inhale, squeeze pelvic floor, lift, 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 lift. A little more, a little more, a little more if you can. Exhale, release, 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 release. 2 more. Inhale, squeeze pelvic floor, lift, lift. Stay with it, keep consistent. A little more. A little more, a little more. Exhale, release, 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 release. Last one in this round. Inhale, squeeze, lift, lift, lift. Really push the limit higher, higher, highest, highest, and release. Relax. Let go. Rest your hands on your lap. Sit tall and eyes closed. Just observe your body. Observe your mind. And when we're in this process of observation, can you press your tongue up against the roof of your mouth, just lightly, just to the space above the front teeth? Helping to create a third eye focus by holding this mudra called Kachari mudra. Keeping length in your spine so that the energy flows long and clear. Preparing for the second round. In this second round, at the end of our 10 breaths, we're going to hold the breath and hold the pelvic floor lift. You're going to hold the breath and pelvic floor as long as you can. Don't worry about holding it with me. Often I give instruction, but you create your hold, okay? Here we go. Starting the 10 breath pattern. Inhale, squeeze and lift pelvic floor, and inhale up, 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 a little higher than when you began. Exhale, relax, relax, release, release. Second breath. Pelvic floor squeeze. Inhale, go up, up, up. Lifting, lengthening, lifting a little higher than before. Really squeeze. Exhale, release, release, release. Relax fully, release. Third breath. Squeeze pelvic floor, begin to go up. Inhale, 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 inhale. Really squeeze up, holding, holding, lifting a little more. Exhale, release, release, release. Relax, let go, release. Fourth breath. Squeeze pelvic floor, lift, 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 lift. A little more if you can, a little more yet still. Exhale, release, 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 release. Fifth breath, connect to pelvic floor, squeeze, lift, 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 higher, higher, highest. On your exhale, release, 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 all the way. Sixth breath, squeeze pelvic floor. Inhale, 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 deep, 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 a little more than ever before. Exhale, release, release, relax, release, let go. Keeping that length in your spine. Seventh breath, squeeze pelvic floor, lift, lift, lift. Higher, highest, stay with it, keep stamina. Exhale, release, 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 release. Let go, let go, let go. Eighth breath, squeeze pelvic floor. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Fill your breath to the maximum capacity. Even more. The last little bit. And exhale, release, 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 release. Breath number 9. Squeeze pelvic floor. Inhale, 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 squeeze, inhale, squeeze, inhale, squeeze, inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release, 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 release. 10th and last breath, this one has a hold. Squeezing pelvic floor, which is perineum for men or Kegel squeeze for women. Inhale, take in your breath, take in your breath, take in your breath. Fill the lungs, fill the lungs, fill the lungs, and hold. Close the eyes, relax the shoulders, keep the hands relaxed, keep the mind steady. Squeeze pelvic floor with your retention of breath and stay with it as long as you can. Press your tongue up to the roof of your mouth for Kachari Mudra. That will help you focus on your third eye center. Keep the length in your spine. when you are ready to release your breath, do so calmly. Keeping the eyes closed once the breath is released, sit for a moment in meditation. By meditation, we mean just an observation of your body. What is the quality of your emotions? What is the environment of your mind? What is the condition of your body? Try to just take note without applying judgment. And when you're ready, our third and final round. So again, we're going to be inhaling, squeezing pelvic floor. Pelvic floor for men is a lift in the perineum, which is the space between the anus and the sex organs. You're lifting that space. Pelvic floor for women is a squeeze to a Kegel squeeze with a lift towards the cervix. We're going to be squeezing pelvic floor as we inhale and then relaxing pelvic floor as we exhale. At the end of our 10 breaths, we're going to be holding our breath in as long as we can, keeping the squeeze in pelvic floor. Please lift your tongue towards the hard palate in the space right above the front teeth to create a connection to our third eye center. This is a mudra, and it's called Kachari mudra, and it just helps refine our connection to the third eye. When you're ready, we're going to begin the breath. Let's start by squeezing pelvic floor, and let's inhale up, up, up. You may find yourself going longer and stronger than before now that the body is warmed up. And then when you're ready to release, exhale, relax, 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 relax. You can keep your hands on your knees. I gesture with my hands to help guide the practice. Pelvic floor squeeze, inhale up, 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 up. Even higher if you'd like. Up, 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 up. And when you're ready, exhale, release, 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 relax. Always honor your potential. Squeeze pelvic floor, go up, 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 up. A little more, a little more. Yes, you can. A little more. And then release, 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 release. The work is internal. Your mind is focused. Squeeze pelvic floor. Inhale. Keeping the pelvic floor connection. Exhale when you're ready. Relaxing into a soft abdomen, soft tissues. Here we go, round 4. Squeeze pelvic floor, inhale. Exhale. Releasing the belly, releasing the muscles of the abdomen, of the glutes, of the pelvic space. 6. Squeeze pelvic floor, inhale. Really squeeze. We're moving cerebral spinal fluid here up towards the limbic system of the brain. So it really helps if we're very focused, if we use the best of our abilities. Good. Number 7, squeeze pelvic floor, lift. Going up, 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 up. As high as you can, higher yet still, a little more. Now begin to relax, 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 relax. Again, squeeze pelvic floor, begin to lift. lift, 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 lift. A little more, a little more. Keep the pelvic floor connection. Really get the juice out of the fruit. And exhale, relax, 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 relax. Number 9. Inhale, squeeze pelvic floor. Lift, 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 lift. A little higher, a little more if you can, a little higher. And then exhale, relax, 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 release, release, release. Now this one will have a hold. So get ready to really hold and push your boundaries. Here we go. Squeeze pelvic floor, start to lift. Taking in breath slowly, generously. Holding that breath in to fill the body. When you're at maximum hold, relax your hands, sit in a gesture of meditation, and just press your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Keep connection to the pelvic floor. For men, it's a lift in the perineum. For women, it's a Kegel squeeze and a lift. Reconnect if you did lose it. Stay with your breath retention. Relax the chest and shoulders and keep your spine tall. When you are ready to breathe normally, you simply relax your chest, go into your natural breathing pattern, and then sit in meditative observation of your mind. Find your length. Stay with the feeling for a moment, observing your body, keeping your eyes closed. You can only listen. I won't be doing anything physical, so there's no need to watch for any demonstration. There will not be any demonstration. When we practice this particular breath, and we draw the pelvic floor so strongly, and we lift that energy with our inhale, we allow cerebral spinal fluid to move through our nervous system up towards the limbic brain. This provides us a way of energizing our pineal glands and our pituitary glands, two major neurotransmitter and hormone secretors. When we allow this space to become energized, it has the capacity now to charge or have electricity. Our inhales, as it rises up, produces a positive charge towards the head. Our exhales, as they flow with the inhales, produces a negative charge down towards our tail. Creating that polarity creates an auric field around us. That auric field is then accelerated by the breathing practice, doing it more times. As we accelerate that field and that polaric energy, or that polarity, increases, we begin to energize and charge different centers of our brain, such as the pituitary gland and the pineal glands. These bring us more intuitive awareness. It helps us regulate our melatonin and our serotonin, which is our wake and our sleep cycles. So it gives us just these added benefits that don't just benefit us today, but they continue to balance us and benefit us throughout our practice and throughout our lifetime. We'll continue to do more work in this regard throughout this week's practice. Next week, we'll layer on more technique. I thank you so much for joining for today's pranayama class. I really look forward to having you here tomorrow as well. Feel free to share this video. I also invite you to follow me on YouTube or on Instagram and to like or comment on this video so that I understand where you are in your process as well. Thank you for coming and joining. I appreciate you being here. Namaste. Oh, I love you too, Tara. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you, Reddy, for being an ever source of support. Thank you all. This also streams on YouTube, so if you would like to share it or watch it there, you're always welcome to. Thank you all. No? Oh. I was trying to tap my screen.